The New York Rangers were the President's Trophy winner last season and famously did not have the run that they were expecting or hoping for. They add Riley Smith, who had an unremarkable season with the Penguins last year, and their offseason is, in addition to Smith, did not get rid of Jacob Trouba, which was kind of an ordeal. It also began with the Barclay Goodrow shenanigans where Barclay Goodrow had a no trade list and they did some sneaky sort of waiving and claiming of
the no trade list,
circumventing the no trade list, and then
circumcised the no trade list.
And then they got actually kind of bit by no trade stuff because they asked before free agency began, they wanted to have Jacob Trouba's no trade list, and he waited until the very last second that he legally had to give it to them to make it tougher for them to trade him. And good for him. They end up returning him. Who knows what that's going to look like? But basically, that's their offseason. Didn't get rid of Trouba, added Riley Smith, did Barclay Goodrow dirty, mentioned Sam Carrick in one of the earlier team's previews, which I like. That ends up just being their kind of Goodrow replacement, but they end up running back a team that won the President's Trophy last season, and I would dare say we're maybe sleeping on them a little bit because it was the best team in the NHL in the regular season, and I don't think they got worse.
Yeah, but like they were like the flimsiest President's Trophy winners that we've seen in a while, where it wasn't like wire to wire, this is the best team in the league. It was just like, okay, there are a million teams in contention for the President's Trophy in the last 2 weeks of the season, and they snuck it out. So like saying that they were the best team in the league last year, I think is
it's a stretch, but I think
logically true, but or literally true.
I think that we're talking about them a little less than we should. Like the biggest story with them is, well, what is the contract going to be for Shesterkin? I don't know if I've heard any, well, the Rangers are dead or the Rangers are, or like who's going to contend with the Rangers in the Eastern Conference. I think that they're being treated as just like kind of one of the teams in the Metro. And maybe that's right. Maybe that's what they end up being. But I think they deserve a little more respect than they've gotten.
I mean, I guess like maybe I'm just looking at it differently. I just think that they're the same team that they were last year, and they're going to be in the same realm. Like they could very well finish as President's Trophy winners, or like very near the top of being President's Trophy winners again this year. But like they haven't really improved.
Right, but I guess that usually, like, look at the Panthers or whatever teams either win a President's Trophy or win the Cup or make whatever deep run. Usually there's some sort of sizable loss. Somebody is taken off that roster. All that is really changed for this team is they swapped out fourth line centers and added a middle six scorer. Like, I'll definitely take that if I'm the Rangers. So we see what happens there.
Hey, thanks for watching the channel.
We appreciate everybody who checks out our stuff, but 80% of our viewers are not actually subscribed to this page. So if you could smash that subscribe button, it would go a very long way for us.
The more subscriptions we have, the more visibility we get from YouTube, which allows us to do more.
So press that button. Thank you. I'll note, President's Trophy winners the next year, one of our favorite stats on this show. 2022 Panthers lost in the second round, then back-to-back Cup finals the next 2 years, including a Cup win. 2021 Avalanche lost in the second round, won the Cup the next year. 2019 Lightning got swept in the first round, then went to 3 straight Cup finals and won 2. So if you're a Rangers fan feeling all mopey that you didn't win the Cup after winning the President's Trophy last season, maybe there's a run in it for you.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any reason to believe that they can't go on another deep run. It's just, I just don't think there's a lot of excitement around the Rangers because they haven't.
Matt Rempe's tall.
They haven't made a splash. Some of their really good players are a year older, in which that's not a positive, or at least may not be a positive. Like Lafreniere, great breakout season last year.
Arrows point up.
I could see him being significantly better for a full season this year. You got to find out what's happening with Capo Caco. Hopefully Hedl stays on the ice. Like those are the guys where you're like, okay, a year could do them some good and they could take another step. But like then you're talking about like Kreider, Zibanejad, Panarin, Trocheck. Like, is being a year older going to help those guys? Riley Smith, it's going to help him? I don't know.
Panarin had 120 points in his age 32 season last year. I don't know if he's repeating that, but if he's still kind of what he was, I mean, this Rangers team, I don't think that I'm not like going around taking up a collection for the Rangers, but I'm like, what am I missing here? That they're in a wide open Eastern Conference. The Rangers aren't really being treated as class-ish.
Yeah, I think that's wrong. Like, I think that they're in the top class of the Eastern Conference. I don't think there's any significant fall off. They still have the best goaltender in the league, arguably, and I think that they're going to be right around what they were last year, which is one of the best teams in the league.
They have the 5th best odds to win the Stanley Cup, the 2nd best odds in the Metro behind the Devils. Do you think, especially in the case of the latter, that is, you agree with that?
I think I'm more excited about the Devils, but I do feel like it's a little bit disrespectful to put the Devils over the Rangers.
So that's where I'm coming from. Whereas, like, what did these guys fucking do to everybody?
There's more unknowns with the Devils than there are with the Rangers.
And again, have to note, let me just give you, by the way, their overall stuff. 7th in goals for last season, 7th in goals against, very well rounded there. 3rd in power play, 3rd in penalty kills. So that was a tidy regular season for them. As I mentioned, 114 points, President's Trophy. And this is also year 2 of Matt Rempe, which is very important. He's tall. That 4th line is going to be really fun with Carrick and Rempe and whoever else is there, maybe Jimmy Vesey. God bless. We love Matt Rempe on this show because everybody loves Matt Rempe anywhere.
Wasn't part of the narrative with them, or I guess with one particular, like Zibanejad not playing to like expectations more or less?
Zibanejad was bad in the
postseason.
In the playoffs, particularly,
Yeah. So, but regular season, Mika, good.
Yeah.
Postseason, so maybe they have a little bit of that Leafs thing of talk to us when they get to the playoffs.
We all silly like the mayor.